Since April of last year, when I first began narrating weekly video presentations, I have attempted to incorporate pieces of the puzzle that would strongly suggest the presence of a celestial intruder in our solar system, a foreign traveler that has the potential to create havoc on the Earth in the manner of climate upheaval and radical Earth changes. There are those who adamantly disregard the theory of a Planet X as the cause of dramatic Earth changes. But in doing so, they do not offer an alternative reason for the changes that are happening. Even NASA will admit that something very big is perturbing the solar system, although they will not admit to the probability that an intruder has already been discovered. Now, I have conducted years of research and study on the subject of Planet X with the intent of determining whether a binary star system was perturbing the inner solar system. Unfortunately, there are some individuals who devote the bulk of their time to surfing the web for information that will discredit the work and the intent of the researcher. To be candid, there are a number of sensationalists on the internet whose real intent is to exploit the theory of Planet X in order to garner attention and notoriety, which then serves their own self-interests. Irrespective of their intent, my research is genuine, which purpose is intended to seek the truth with respect to the strange behavior of our planet in recent years. The changes that we are experiencing do not happen suddenly. It is a gradual process that often goes unnoticed by most of us. When a catastrophe does occur, such as the horrific wildfires that are now happening in Northern California, if such an event does not affect us directly, then it is quickly forgotten and it just becomes another sensational headline for the media outlets. Is the media eager to discredit the theory of Planet X and anyone who supports it? It seems that publishers go out of their way to humiliate and degrade researchers, accusing them of setting fraudulent dates for the demise of planet Earth, and then going as far as to label them as charlatans. This would then be considered an orchestrated effort by media moguls to protect their own interests. A misinformation campaign conducted through the use of catchy headlines such as this one, with the intent to confuse and bewilder those who follow this story. If Planet X does not exist, then why are astronomers and astrophysicists from the most prestigious institutions in the world searching for it? On October 11th, a local news affiliate out of Colorado Springs published an interesting article. A local astronomer living atop a hillside overlooking Waldo Canyon has built a 2-story personal observatory with the primary purpose of locating Planet X through the use of astrophotography. The telescope mounted at the top of the observatory under a movable dome has the ability to take pictures almost similar to the quality of pictures produced by the Hubble Space Telescope. Because of the advanced technology that this astronomer has acquired, he is now in talks with the University of Colorado to use his telescope in the search for Planet X. According to NASA, Caltech researchers have found evidence suggesting that there may be a Planet X in the solar system, which they have tabbed Planet 9, which they describe as having a mass 10 times that of the Earth and located in a region beyond Neptune. What is so remarkable about the private telescope in Colorado Springs is that it never would have been constructed if it hadn't been for a massive Waldo Canyon wildfire 5 years ago that destroyed more than 300 homes in this neighborhood. Having been given the opportunity to rebuild, this avid astronomer decided that he would pursue his lifetime interest of having a personal telescope on his property for observing the heavens. So, rather than devoting one's time to debunking the existence of Planet X, here is the story of one man's devotion to finding the elusive planet, possibly with the assistance of scientists from the University of Colorado. I want to devote some time to the ongoing wildfire catastrophes that are happening in Northern California. because the cable news networks are not covering this tragic event nearly enough, and I feel it deserves more attention than what it is getting from the media. At the time of this presentation, 43 people have perished in these fires and thousands have been left homeless. More than 250 people are still missing. More than 3,500 homes and structures have been destroyed, and almost 222,000 acres have burned. This is the most destructive and deadly wildfire in California history. But these numbers are just a reminder of how devastating wildfires are in terms of loss of life, the destruction left in their wake, and the environmental impact it causes to entire regions that are caught up in this inferno. Take a look at this remarkable aerial video captured by Douglas Thron showing the fire devastation in Santa Rosa, California on October 10th. The video speaks volumes and reminds us of just how vulnerable we are when confronted by the power of nature. As the fires continue to burn in Northern California, dramatic orange skies and fiery red sunsets are seen as shown here. At the same time that massive fires were burning out of control in California, apocalyptic wildfires were spreading in Portugal. All across England, the sun in the sky turned ominous as Hurricane Ophelia approached the British Isles, bringing with it sand and dust carried over from southern Europe's wildfires and from the Sahara as a result of a bizarre weather anomaly. This, according to local forecasters from London's Met Office. As the sun moved through the supposed dust, the ground appeared to turn to the color of dirt. The unusual anomaly occurred at midday on October 16th and quickly spread across the country. The UK is said to encounter this phenomenon at least once or twice a year when sands from the Sahara move north towards the European continent. Hurricane Ophelia, the 10th storm to develop in the Atlantic this year, was an extremely unusual hurricane. What made this storm so strange was its location in the North Atlantic, where the water is usually too cool for hurricanes to develop. Instead of heading towards the west, this storm took a northeast route, hitting Ireland and the UK, which makes this story even more peculiar. The sky is continuing to manifest itself in unusual ways. Those who take the time to look up into the heavens are often astonished by what is seen. This image may look real to some, and yet it is only a facade. This image from Texas in June of this year is quite real. It is a sky phenomenon that is often mistaken for a large spherical object. There are often times when the sky will display beams of light, as seen here in this photo from Fort Myers, Florida. These are referred to as crepuscular rays, as they appear from the direction of the sun. They were once thought to be a rare phenomenon, but are now appearing frequently, which suggests that our sky is gradually changing. Then, too, there are moments when clouds take on an ominous look, as this video shows from France. The strange cloud formations also appeared in Brazil recently, as seen in these images. They are known as asperatus clouds, and they are appearing more frequently in many parts of the world as a precursor to storm activity. As the world's climate continues to worsen, the probability of giant fissures opening in the Earth's surface continues to grow. Some of these cracks are created by seismic activity, but many are now known to occur due to excessive rainfall due to extreme weather anomalies. On October 16th, huge cracks opened in the ground of the Lampang district of Thailand, following heavy rain. This was an earth-changing event which baffled local authorities as well as many residents. When it comes to defining the reasons why this planet has become a victim of drastic and bizarre weather anomalies and sudden Earth changes, we are provided with mixed signals from NASA, from the NOAA, and from the USGS. We were told that climate change was a product of a warming planet, one that was heating up from excessive carbon emissions, which the NOAA labeled as global warming. The USGS continuously downgrades the intensity of earthquake activity, while indicating that any uptick is primarily the result of a decrease in sunspots and because our sun is moving into a period of solar minimum. NASA informed the world back in 1983 that their infrared telescope IRIS had discovered the presence of a heavenly body as large as Jupiter in the outer reaches of our solar system. After publishing their discovery in the Washington Post, NASA went silent on their announcement, and they did so for 30 years, until 2016, when they suggested the presence of a large body in our solar system, which they called Planet 9. While announcing these major discoveries, they continued to deny the existence of Planet X. But here is the latest news on this elusive planet from NASA. Because no matter how many times they attempt to change their story, the subject of Planet X refuses to go away. It remains as much a mystery today as it was some 30 years ago. On October 4th, via a press release, NASA announced that there is now growing evidence for the existence of Planet 9, also known as Planet X, which is often associated with the doomsday planet Nibiru. It now looks like Planet 9 is out there lurking invisibly in the darkest regions of the solar system. Since early 2016, when NASA was finally compelled to admit to the possibility of a rogue planet, the evidence just keeps coming in. It is now believed that the presence of this massive body is responsible for the planets being tilted 6 degrees relative to the sun's equator. Its gravitational field has gradually influenced the orbits of other planets in our solar system. No other model has been able to explain the strangeness of these high inclination orbits. If you were to remove this explanation and then suggest that Planet X or Planet 9 does not exist, there would then be a series of unresolved puzzles that would require different theories to explain them. The bottom line is that NASA is now admitting that Planet X exists in our solar system. They just can't find it, even with the assistance of their sophisticated telescopes. But they are calling on amateur astronomers from around the world to help them find it. According to NASA, the human eye may be able to detect objects that even the most advanced technology cannot do. Do any of their statements or press conferences make a lick of sense? It certainly has all the earmarkings of a campaign of deception, and maybe that is their intention. As the mystery of Planet X continues to make headlines, we are left to determine what the truth is. The strange and unpredicted behavior of our sun and the moon, the historical weather anomalies across the world, the unprecedented retreat of the oceans, the dramatic increase in intensity of seismic and volcanic activity, in addition to the unexplained mass die-off of marine and animal life. These are all indicators that great changes are upon us. If we ignore these warnings, we do so at our own peril. Therefore, my friends, keep yourself informed.